So, you're the fellow who wants to teach a class on funny books at my university.
Yes, sir. I'm Michael Uslan, and I'd like to take a 5-prong academic approach to getting this approved as a 3-credit-hour course. The first academic discipline involved is art. Comic books constitute a true American art form, as indigenous to this country as jazz music. The second academic approach is anthropology. Comic books are our contemporary American folklore. They're our modern-day mythology. You see, the ancient gods of Greece, Rome, Egypt, they still exist today. Although today they wear capes and spandex. After all, the Greeks called him Hermes, the Romans called him Mercury, and we call him the Flash. The Greeks called him Poseidon, the Romans called him Neptune, and we call him Aquaman. I talked to Dr. Glassy, the folklore professor here, and he agrees with me on this. The third academic approach I'd like to take is sociology. Comic books have been printed every week since the 1930s, and they are a mirror of our society, reflecting the constantly changing values and prejudices, and consistently reflecting major historical events within their narratives, such as World War II, Vietnam War, etc. The fourth academic approach is English.
Oh, come on, son, let me stop you right there. Comic books as mythology? Superheroes as folklore? Really, Mr. Uslan, give me a break. What comic books are a cheap, maybe lurid entertainment for children. Nothing more, nothing less. Look, I read comic books when I was a kid. I read every issue of Superman I could get my hands on. But it's kid stuff, and I reject your premise.
Sir, may I ask you 2 questions?
You have some time left, you can ask me anything you want.
Thank you. Could you briefly summarize the story of Moses for me?
Mr. Uslan, I don't know what game you're playing here, but I'll play this game with you. The Hebrews were being persecuted. Their firstborn were being slain. A Hebrew couple put their infant son in a wicker basket and sent him drifting down the Nile. An Egyptian couple found him and raised him as their own. When he grew up and learned of his true heritage, he became a great hero to his people.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, if I could ask one more small favor of you. You said that you read the Superman comics as a kid, right? Could you briefly summarize for me the origin of Superman?
Sure. The planet Krypton was about to explode. A scientist and his wife put their infant son in a tiny rocket ship and sent it to Earth, where it was found by the Kents, a farming family, who raised the child as their own. When he grew up and learned of his true heritage, Mr. Uslan, your class is accredited.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I expect you to start working on a lesson plan right away.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Uslan, one moment.
Yes, sir?
May we look at some of those materials you brought for us?
Oh, of course. I just brought some comic books to use as reference. You might like this one, sir. It's a Superman comic.
I had this one. I remember this. Say, do you have the one where Superman got hit with kryptonite bullets? That was the best. So, you're the fellow who wants to teach a class on funny books at my university.
Yes, sir.